Oftentimes, we see famous athletes making huge plays in their sport. And let's be honest, we want that to be us. We crave that fast and exciting lifestyle. Not too often do we look at the story behind their success, their past, their family life, and what really brought them to the point of nationwide recognition. Not all athletes come from a well-to-do middle-class family with a picket fence or a two-car garage. Instead, humble beginnings replaces abundance, while community, whether positive or negative influences, becomes their parents and guardians. It could be a friend, a teacher, a bus driver, or even a football coach. I'm Krystle Rich for Winology. I spoke to Long Beach Poly High School head football coach Raul Lara, whose impact on the football field has yielded positive changes in his athletes from high school to the pros. Long Beach Poly High School has the most NFL players come out of its football program than any other high school in the nation. Here, player skills are developed with the expectation to advance to the next level. Some of Coach Lara's former players include Willie McGinest, DeSean Jackson, Marcedes Lewis, and Jarrell Casey. 19 California Interscholastic Federation Championship titles for Long Beach Poly. 8 of which were under your coaching tenure, 5 of which were under your head coaching tenure. What does that say about the program and you as a head coach?
If you look at the history of Poly, from 95 to now, there's never been a run ever like this. I think there's an expectation each year to uphold the tradition here, and the tradition is to win championships.
Long Beach Poly High was named the Sports School of the Century in 2005 by Sports Illustrated. Coach Lara, former player and 1984 graduate of Poly, is very familiar with what it takes from his coaching style to maintain Poly's esteemed reputation.
Oh man, I love his intensity. He really does get after that as a coach. I mean, he expects a lot out of himself, and of course, he expects it out of his kids and as well as his assistant coaches.
You've been coaching at Long Beach Poly for 23 years, including 13 as a head coach. It's been a long run for you. How did your coaching career begin, and what has your experience been like throughout these years?
When Jerry decided to leave, he was always grooming me to be the next head coach, and I always was resisting. I'm not going to do this, you're crazy. And so what ended up happening, in God's blessing, I was able to become the head coach. I think it was a thing that we didn't have nobody else to kind of keep it the same and keep it rolling, and so they all asked me to do it.
The tradition of keeping it in the family is what the coaches attribute to the success of the football program. Their tradition does not only include coaching on the field, but taking a genuine interest in the well-being of their athletes off the field. Talking to the other coaches on the field, and they were telling me what made you a great coach. They mentioned that you were intense. They also mentioned that you know your community. You know the area, Long Beach Poly, and you're telling kids they can use football as a way out.
Well, you know, when I came to this school and you met one of my coaches, Don Norford, if it wasn't for them and how they groomed me and showed me not just football, but just becoming a man and how to survive in life and learning life skills from them, really helped me get to where I'm at.
It's one thing to have like a great coach, but to be a great person, that's like, I mean, that's what you would want, you know. And he's just not only a good coach, but he was like our stepfather outside of, you know, the house, our own household, and he would always tell us about just respect, not just the team, our teammates, or the people that help us, but outside of school, you know, and it goes hand in hand. And how integrity was very important, you know, to our high school, and how important it is to always represent Poly in a good light. And you know, I'll never forget that. And
growing up in the neighborhood, you understand what's out there and what's happening. You know, you understand the gang life, you understand the different races in the community, what everybody is thinking, how much Poly football means to our community. And I know we sometimes act like parents sometimes. When kids are not doing what they're supposed to be doing, like going to school and stuff like that, you know, sometimes we have to go pick up the kid and make sure he goes to school.
He's pretty sharp on what the kids need, because he's a part of the community too. You know, coaching at Poly, you got to know the community to be successful. What's inside the kids. I don't think anybody can come off from somewhere else and actually coach here and be successful, because you don't know how we think. And at Poly, and Raul's been good at this, you have to coach from the inside out, not from the outside in. That's so important that you know what's going on and what's happening in the families.
Coach Lara allows his experience working with at-risk youth to help him become a better coach on the football field. How do you translate your experience working for the LA County Probation Department onto your skills as a coach on the field?
I think with the probation experience that I have and the kind of kids I deal with in probation really helps me deal with the kids here better. It's almost like the same thing. You're kind of coaching as a probation officer too. You're coaching a kid how to live his life.
Coach, you have the most NFL players, the most, come out of the Long Beach Poly high school football program than any other program in the nation. What does that say about this program, your players, your coaches, and you as a coach?
In all of the United States, I don't think you have an area that you have so many professionals come out of. But when you coach them great players, because anybody can have great players, but you got to coach them and you got to mold them into become real great players. And I think that's what we have done here.
Coach Lara would like to move up to the collegiate level. However, he told me once a Long Beach Poly Jackrabbit, always a Jackrabbit. Krystle Rich, Winology.